Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in 2018, the guy from Clemson in his third year, Deshaun Watson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play action for Miller. Now Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all. Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd.
To throw is Watson. He loses 4, and it brings up 4. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He'll drop to throw. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Watson, screen play, Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson His third touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy. He can run it and catch it, and we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. Oh, spinning away. Oh, able to avoid him. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a carry for Jacobs. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit on me.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Running the toss here to Jacobs. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Watson. And that will be incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. Oh, what a juke into space.
Come on now, let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry.
Switch. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 37-yard line.
2nd and 3. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Here's Jacobs. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Jacobs now. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Let's think here. You're still just in the 2nd quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show them you have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time, we'll go.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 4 yards out. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Let's go!
A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrow. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tahir Whitehead racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw, Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, 82 yards. As his guys are back within a single score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game planned for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Over the middle, it's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
That's got to be a long day. Like 22, he's coming.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Wide open receiver, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
The ball carried by the wide receiver. Incomplete in the end zone.
Just like that.
So the ref makes the call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. On second down now. It's Jacobs. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. And this a 39-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken at the 3. And some strong running. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Alert 3.
On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. And quickly, they get to the line.
A 6-yard pickup.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Nine yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
41 to Mike. Check 41. It's a party now. It's a party now. 41's coming over. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. 41 Mike.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Coming to you. Mike 41. Let's go. You got nothing. 41.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
41 to Mike, 41 to Mike. Check 41. Got a game situation. Let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So good coverage there defensively, as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. We're holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half. Those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time, because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Tahir Whitehead, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle. They'll set up a throw. He's got a first down and then some in midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 43.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Back to throw. And this is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Lamar Miller. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 81 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead, it's down to just 1 score. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone knows to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a 1-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Here's the 2nd and 7. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for the Raiders. 59 yards. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Let's go, baby.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
Look at the big man rumble. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a second straight loss. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Oh, what a move. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, 62 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Watson and the Texans now down by 2 touchdowns. A minute 50 to play. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Now Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Off the draw. Here's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On fourth down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
Pat, they must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves.
Lamar Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Mike, 55. Check.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Looking to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Justin Reed. And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll set up to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty is?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Raiders, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.